Hi, and welcome to the Pimp My LinkedIn show. My name is Neil Benson.
And my name is Amy Holden.
Hi, Amy. How are you doing?
I am excellent, Neil. How on earth are you?
I am awesome. It's a beautiful summer's day here in Brisbane, and I've been out for a nice walk this morning. I've done my Danish lessons, but now I'm ready to pimp a couple of LinkedIn profiles. Are you ready?
Oh, so ready, so ready.
Great. So today we've got Daryl LaBar and Warren Dean. Amy, why don't you kick us off with a pimped up version of Daryl LaBar?
So Daryl raising the bar. LaBar. I love that about his name. It's a great name. Absolutely fantastic. I'd never change anything about that. Immediately when I land on this profile, I love the pictures. Absolutely love them. I'm so captivated. It says everything about him. Like I can see him, got some nice trees in the background. He's got his MVP badge. I think that's real smart. And he's got his, obviously his company. I love that. Straight away I'm in. Not so sure about the emoji in the name situation going on here.
What is that? Is that a bullet point to start off with Daryl? He's got a square dot.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's a coder, so maybe that's Daryl, you know. But yeah, I'm not sure on the emoji thing. Meg would like it. Megan would like it. So he, instead of going for the pipe, which we said we didn't like, we've now got commas. I think I hate commas more than pipes. So I think for your headline, there's loads of cool stuff, but I think I'm going to say three things. Choose three things and take out the commas because they're a little bit painful to look at. And I think...
I don't mind them so much.
No?
Well, I just looked at my profile recently. I've got like a bullet point dot to separate a couple of phrases in mine, so I'm not sure what you're going to say about that if you ever review it.
We'll talk about that later. Anyway, back to the show. Daryl's contact information, it made me giggle for some reason. Let me remember why. Oh, open his contact information. He has a Hotmail email account, and I think he's the only other person I've seen that has Hotmail apart from me. I absolutely love it. But yeah, it's good to see he's got some stuff there. I'd love to see a link to his podcast in there as well to maximize that space. And he's done a Twitter link as a website, but I think there's actually a section for a Twitter link. So we could...
There is. I was going to say you can only have 3 websites. So if he moved his Twitter into the right place, that would free up a link for his website. For his podcast.
Optimization at its finest. So if we come down, the about section. Yeah, it reads like someone's written it whose language is not first language English, and I know that's not Daryl, and it's like a list, and it's not Daryl because Daryl's way cooler than this. What do you think?
Yeah, it is just a bit of a dry. There's not much character in there. I do like the fact that he invites people to ask him to present on something, but it doesn't really narrow down the kind of topics he does present on. Have you got something you want me to present on? Yeah, sure, Daryl. Let's see your basket weaving skills. Let's see you do that at the user group meeting.
Request coming your way.
Yeah, and there's no point putting your Twitter. There's no point putting any URLs in the about section. It doesn't support HTML.
Awesome. His activity is great. He's really interactive. He comes across as who Daryl is when in his activity. I absolutely love it. He hasn't used, there's something missing here, the featured section.
Yeah,
there is no features in his features section. So I'd love to see a link to his podcast, a link about him being an MVP, and all his blog stuff. Because that's such a... And then you can get rid of some stuff from the headline and get it all in that featured section. That would be a massive improvement. Okay, coming down to the where are we looking? At the experience.
Maybe?
Yes. I am so confused. There is so many current roles in here, I don't even know what's going on. And then there's a lot of repeats as well. So the Defenders thing comes up quite a lot, and it took me a while to work out what Defenders was. But I'm not sure if, when I was looking on my phone, this Defenders thing comes up, and then in all the descriptions, the Defenders is mentioned, but it's not under Defenders. And I'm just a bit confused.
Yeah, I think for independent consultants, it's a tricky one. You know, some of us have long-term clients where you might have spent a year or two as a consultant. Do you include that in your experience, or was that really just one of the customers of your own company? So Daryl has his own company, Gap Integrity, which is in there, but I imagine looks like Health Carousel and Insight to Profit, Defenders were all clients of Gap Integrity. So should they just be listed underneath Gap Integrity as named clients, or as separate experiences? I'm not sure. And Daryl's gone for both, which is super confusing.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice if you could use the different positions at a company and kind of leverage that on a project scale. That would look really, really neat, I think. His descriptions need some work. I'm sorry, Daryl. Again, it's like I did this or something did this. It's kind of past tense, but like someone else did it. And he's better than that. Like he really down talks what he did. Like, oh, I did some JavaScript. Like, I feel like you could get a lot more in those, have a really good tidy up. It's a really overwhelming task. I get it. Looking at all that and thinking, oh my gosh, but it needs a little bit of work.
I really try and focus on achievements and accomplishments. What were the business outcomes of the work that you did, rather than the tasks you completed or the responsibilities you held. Really focus on, like I said, on the business outcomes.
Definitely agree. And then if we roll on down, I love this, there's a little hidden gem in here. So if we go down to his university description, please, his description was fantastic. Graduated with all A's, except a single A in freshman English. Damn you, English. And then talks about playing football, and then it's fantastic. It really made me giggle. Not the most professional, but university, once you get to a few years experience, doesn't mean much, so I kind of like it in an unprofessional way.
Yeah, that's cute.
Cute, yeah. I don't know who can kill approve of the word cute. I've used that before. Anyway, moving on. Not many certs. He's stuck in the past. This is where it starts to get like he's not touched this section since 2011, especially in the experience and the licenses. Nothing's changed. So it might be he doesn't only have certifications, I'm not sure, but maybe spruce it up a bit somehow.
Yeah. If they're really, 7 or 8 years old, just take them off. They're no longer, nobody's going to hire you, Daryl, for your CRM 2011 certification. And if they do, goodness help you for working on a 10-year-old deployment. And so the volunteer experience is great. I'm not quite sure why the company logos don't come through. I don't know if Stack Overflow is the correct company name, or there's a space in there. But nice just to tidy that up to make sure those are associated to the right companies. Good to see some volunteer experience.
Yeah, really nice, really cool. And he's been in it for a long time, which is great. Skills and endorsements are shining. He's doing really well, and a good level of recommendations as well.
Yeah.
I love how he's used the project section. And I think he could definitely leverage this more, because I know he does a lot with making XRM Toolbox tools, and he could definitely leverage this project section, reignite that from 2015 and fill that with heaps of stuff that he does.
Yeah, I'm gonna consider using the project section more for those client engagements that I do. Because I love to remember who I was working with, and in some projects, you work with 20 or 30 people, 40 people, and it's hard to remember all their names. But if I create a project and link everybody to it, then we can all see that project. And I can always recall who I was working with on different projects. It just reminds me of what I've done. So, Daryl's great use of those, and a good example for us. Awesome.
That's it. So, Daryl overall, lots of cool stuff, lots to work with, but it does need some work. It starts really great at the top, and then I think he just got bored and went and built a different XRM Toolbox tool instead. So I'm going to give him, it's going to be a 7, but it's got a lot of potential. It started well. What do you think, Neil?
Yeah, I'm going to give Daryl a 7 just because he's a great guy. It's really a 6.5. I think if there was a command line interface for LinkedIn, Daryl could have a better profile. But it starts off really well. That's the good thing. All the cool stuff is at the top, so anybody who hits Daryl's profile will think it's awesome. But if they scroll down, it gets slightly less awesome towards the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, let's contrast that with Warren Dean, Amy. So Warren is a Power BI consultant. I gotta say, I love the headline image here. Really strong Power BI training and consulting designed for government. It pitches his services, the market sector that he works with. Some nice images in there. The logos down at the bottom right-hand corner to give him some credibility, and a good photograph. I love the way it's faded the photograph into the background. I think it's probably better than his profile photo, which is a kind of a side-on. This is what the side of my face looks like, me speaking on a stage. I'm not a big fan. Some people They might have had a keynote speaking opportunity at a big conference, and that's great. But a picture of somebody speaking on a stage from a lectern doesn't make a good profile photo.
No.
Ability to stand up and talk at the same time, it's not probably not the best skill that Warren has. Quite like the headline, founder at Datatail. We talked about the pipes already. At least it's very concise, tells me exactly
clean.
what he does. He's a trainer, he's MCT, he does consulting, and he specifies the market sector, which is government. Awesome, I like that.
I really like that.
I love this little bit here. I need to find out how to do that. I had this on my profile at one time, which is a summary of the services you can provide. It's really good if you're looking for work, whether you're looking for a new job or whether you're a consultant looking for a new engagement. Highlights the kind of opportunities that you're open for. It's great if you want to attract recruiters or prospective clients or prospective employers. What do you think of the first section, Warren?
It works really well with the whole, if you've got your own company area as well, that you can kind of advertise your services for your company as well.
Yep.
I think his profile's really striking. As soon as I land here, I'm like, oh, this guy means business. But I agree with the profile picture. I'd love a clean background and to see his beautiful face.
Contact info is okay. I think Warren has quite a few websites that you could add in here. I'll show you where has added those. I don't think it's the right spot because we talked about that with Daryl as well. Putting links here in the, let's scroll down.
Yeah.
Putting links in here in the About section, it's not the right space for these because none of these are clickable. If I wanted to go and visit his Facebook profile page, I don't know what to do with that. I'm not a Facebook user, but I don't know how to resolve that into a URL. So yeah, put those website links into your contact section. He has added them into his featured section, which is great. That's an alternative way of doing it because that highlights the actual graphic from the website that people can visit.
Nice.
I do like his summary here. It's really strong. It's only 4 lines. Good summary of his experience. It's in the third person. Amy, are we a fan of the third person?
I think with the way his profile comes across, he seems like a third person.
Yep. However, the first line is in the first person. Get a free preview of my online training. So you need to sort out whether you're talking about yourself or somebody else. LinkedIn, I prefer writing in the first person because I won't sound like I'm talking to you. But it's a personal preference, I think. Activity is great. One of the examples I want to highlight is when Warren posts an interesting piece of content and people engage with it, people begin to comment on it. Warren likes their comments and replies to their comments as well. That accelerated engagement drives up the visibility of Warren's posts. So that's a really good hint for anybody who's using LinkedIn, wants to post the content and maximize its reach. Warren's doing really well with that.
He also has 16,000 followers, so clearly something's working out for him.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yikes.
So he's obviously a popular speaker and trainer in this market. Experience section starts out really well. He's the founder of Datatail. We know that already. He's reinforcing that. Good list of clients. So that's another way of representing when you're a freelance consultant and you have a list of clients. That's a pretty good way to do it. And then he's got this list of multiple speaking engagements. I'm not a fan of how that's represented. I just think those are not as relevant, perhaps, or don't add as much credibility as real work experience. So I would add those into your accomplishments section instead. He's the founder of the LGA BI Meetup. I think that's the local government association, which is great. So, good community contributor as well. He's got some relevant industry experience. I love the experience section.
Lots of pictures, really interactive. I'm really drawn in.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of good eye-catching content, apart from a couple of images missing there. Education section's great. Licenses and certifications. I would take the Dell one off, perhaps. Okay, it's maybe a solid credential. I just don't know it well enough. And then he's got some good Microsoft ones as well. Obviously, the Power BI space, and he's just focused on his most recent certifications: data analyst, certified trainer, PACA. Really good.
Very nice.
Solid set of skills and endorsements. He's picked the top 3 that reinforce his career choice, so that's great. Just a couple of recommendations. Particularly if you're a freelance consultant, no harm in asking clients for a recommendation at the end of your engagements.
Yeah.
Wow, what a set of accomplishments.
I know.
I think these are courses Warren has taken. Yeah, okay. Not courses that he delivers. So he's got ClickView in there, he's got SaaS, he's got Power BI, a real breadth of experience in the BI space, which is great.
What I like about it is that a lot of his stuff is all focused around data and BI. Everything's relevant.
Yep.
So it all really lines up. Like it's not bitsy bobsy. I really like that about it.
Yeah. So I think this is a great example of a profile that really builds his professional credibility.
Yeah.
And if you're an independent consultant running your own business and you want to grow that business and attract more clients, this is a great example. However, I just think it lacks a little bit of personality, a little bit of character. I don't know what Warren's like. There's no hobbies or just sense of who he is as a person coming across. So it's a little dry in that sense. But perhaps that's what Warren's aiming at. He's not looking for that get to know him kind of profile. It's a get to know his credibility kind of profile. What do you think?
Get to know my business and get acquainted with it.
Yeah. Overall, I'm going to give this. It's a great profile for what it is that Warren's trying to do. I'm going to give Warren a 9.5, Amy. It's one of the best profiles I think we've seen. What about you?
Again, there's not much that I can do to make it that much better. It's him. It's legit, and I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna go 9.5. 9.5.
Great stuff. Wow, awesome! What a great pair of scores, Warren. Well done. Well, thanks very much, everybody, for joining us in this episode of Pink My LinkedIn Profile. Don't forget to submit your application. It's just a little form at our bit.ly link in the description of this video. And if you subscribe to the show, that will boost your chances as well.
Awesome. Thanks again, Neil. Always a pleasure. And looking forward to soon our roundup series of Look Where They Are Now. So make sure you're catching up with your pimping